The police threw me in jail. They ruined me. And now they're coming for you, my viewers. Can you defeat their plan to take you out? Keep watching to find out.
I was just trying to call your office, Mr. Fagan. How are you? You avoided me. So is it a great day for you? You finally got Justin? You got him?
Why would it be a great day?
Because he's in a cage now.
But you can join him once you cross this line.
What are the police really concerned about? Is it violent crime, theft, traffic safety? No! The police are really concerned about the takeover of the police Facebook page by a so-called journalist and his followers, which creates a reputation management challenge. And it's an urgent matter. So urgent that they assigned robbery and homicide to investigate me for filming the police, including going to a felony court to get search warrants for my videos. There's plenty of real crime in Fort Bend County, but our malevolent public servants prioritize themselves when it comes to expending our public resources. So if someone is taking their campaign signs or criticizing them on the internet, that's what matters most to them. And it's definitely more important than unsolved murders or the theft of your property. Before I get started, it's important to understand the police I'm talking about today self-proclaimed to, quote, completely understand the right of free speech, unquote. In 2021, I was arrested by Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office in Texas for filming the police. Patrol Lieutenant Taylor Rollins was apparently perturbed that I obeyed his unlawful commands while continuing to film. He seized all my cameras and I was prosecuted for years. I spent tens of thousands of dollars clearing my name and replacing stolen journalism equipment. The cops claimed to completely understand the right of free speech, so naturally, when I was dragged into jail, the first thing that was said, let's teach him a lesson for fucking with us. As soon as the cop learned I was an investigative journalist. It didn't stop there. After my arrest, the cops immediately took to Facebook where they shared around my mugshot. Detective Gabe Cardenas, who found it hilarious that I was arrested, said, he's a prick who likes to show up on random officers' scenes and tries to entice them to act out. Officer Bruce Denny posted, an early Christmas present for law enforcement. By the way, Denny and I have something in common. He also sued the Fort Bend Sheriff for political payback. Deputy Ayers was aired on the TV show Cops, where the sheriff pre-approved the footage that was shown. Laugh my MFN ass off. About time. Another cop, about damn time. Prayers answered. But one of the most telling comments is from Fort Bend investigator Ricky James Holdsworth. Hopefully they seized his camera for evidence purposes. And that reveals the corrupt agenda of the police. Instead of being non-biased fact finders, they impose their own extrajudicial punishment, acting as judge and jury. They make the process the punishment. If the police steal my cameras for 3 years, how can I film them? At the very least, it would cost me thousands of dollars to replace. That's extrajudicial punishment. After all, when Assistant District Attorney Laurel Elliser was working with robbery and homicide on the search warrants, she already had a copy of my dash camera that showed exactly what happened. Instead of doing the right thing, she used the district attorney's office as a political weapon to take me down, an attempt to get the sheriff out of civil liability. But even Elliser had her limits. She told the deputies to return my phone, and they knew they were supposed to return my phone. Did they? Hell no! And that alone cost me over $2,500. In 2022, I paid hundreds of dollars in open records fees. It's part of the local government club conspiracy to make me pay for reporting about their official acts. Except this time, they didn't turn over the records I paid for. Finally, the Attorney General launched an investigation, and only then did the Sheriff's Office begin to comply with the law. Eventually, 798 days after I requested it, Fort Bend County released this email. I wanted to see if you and your team could help the FBCSO Public Information Office as we deal with a first-time issue regarding attacks on the Sheriff's Office via social media. My PIO colleague and I constantly post and review comments on all of the social media channels. For the last few weeks, we've become really concerned about the takeover of our Facebook page by a so-called journalist and his followers, which in my view creates a reputation management challenge. Several negative comments are flooding our Facebook post, which have nothing to do with the subject matter of the post. We have hidden public comments that contain vulgar language, but we never delete comments and completely understand the right of free speech. We've reported these issues to the Facebook police without any resolution. The predator in question has a loyal following and may even be creating fake profiles. Even more disturbing is his financial solicitation to support himself and the use of our digital images in his solicitation and negative comment posts. I'm happy to go further into detail about this urgent matter. Please advise and contact me at the earliest opportunity. The police cannot stand that I generate revenue by reporting about police misconduct. They want to defund me, whether that is illegal open records fees, blocking me from scenes, ejecting me from press conferences, seizing my cameras, or maliciously prosecuting me. It all costs me a ton of money. And it's all official oppression, which is technically a crime, but the reality is that the local government club will never hold itself accountable. Fort Bend employees are protected and even promoted when they jack with me. They are encouraged to violate my rights. Indeed, the law does not apply to me in Fort Bend County, as in my constitutional rights are nullified, and anyone who commits a crime against me is automatically exonerated. The police are winning. I can't get ahead. With each video I post, the opposition intensifies. Most YouTubers don't face jail time for bringing you videos. Will you help me continue to expose these tyrants? Will you consider sending a donation of $5, $20, or more, even if my financial solicitation disturbs the police? This is an uphill battle for me, and with each step, the grade is getting steeper. Only with viewer support am I able to continue. Unlike the police, each dollar I earn is through the voluntary actions of free people in a free marketplace. It's perhaps the most ethical way to earn your meal ticket. Alright, the police sidetracked me there. This video is about the First Amendment, not disturbing financial solicitation. Meeting with the general counsel was not enough. They also invited an assistant district attorney from Brian Middleton's office. The assistant chief wrote, "The meeting is necessary to determine what can be done with the persons who are disrupting our social media accounts and sending alarming messages, some of which are profane and vulgar." Sheriff Fagan and Chief Deputy Provost were unavailable to meet that day. You might remember them from the day I was arrested.
You can join them across this line?
I ain't crossing the line.
Okay.
Like Justin, I don't break the law.
You said unlike Justin?
I said like Justin, I don't break the law.
Okay.
But you still put him in a cage, sir. You're a disgrace, you're a tyrant, you're nothing but a thug.
Thank you.
I hope you end up in a cage one day just like him, sir.
Thank you.
You should resign, sir.
Did you just say there was no bond?
You should resign.
I should resign?
You should resign.
So it's not
You're
no
a
bond,
complete
I should resign.
you're a complete disgrace.
I'm a disgrace.
Yeah, you could go back there and get Justin out of that cage right now because you know this is a retaliatory arrest, and yet here you are in your fancy suit and your stupid shoes.
Thank you. What's the charge?
You tell me. You got him in the cage, sir. You got him in the cage.
I got him in the cage.
Yes.
I'm arrested.
Come back. Go over to the bond lady. See if they'll give me any additional information. I bet you won't.
Go to who?
The bond lady. The
You
only
just
people I
told
can
me
talk
there was
to.
no bond. Did
I
you
don't
lie?
I don't have the bond
Did you lie?
information yet.
Did you lie?
Don't start with
Did you
me.
tell me there was no
Resign.
bond?
Resign, tyrant. Resign. Resign.
So
Resign.
what is it?
You are nothing but a criminal thug.
Okay.
You need to resign.
Okay.
You need to resign, sir.
Okay.
Get off. See? Now see, you think this is not going to intimidate me, Sheriff. This ain't going to look good, Sheriff.
I bet you Justin won't do it again.
I bet he didn't do anything wrong. I bet he beats the charges too. I bet he did. What's your name, ma'am? What's your name?
Chief Provost.
Here's the recap of the meeting. I'm going to jump around here. They say certain areas in the jail may be off limits to any recording, particularly if the recording can capture the location of any security cameras. That would be good for detention supervisors to know. Their knee-jerk response to being filmed is to scheme about how to ban filming. How dare a citizen embarrass the sheriff? This must be stopped. It reminds me of the dispatch pass-along email. Justin Pulliam was at the scene videoing the officers there, and then he got arrested for interfering. Then his friends kept calling dispatch and harassing us, stating that he was kidnapped.
I'm sorry, say that again. I moved to the desk. Say that.
Justin Pulliam.
Okay.
He was kidnapped by some people wearing some costumes pretending to be police.
3 hours later, Justin was released on bond, and his friends threw a party at the sheriff's office by filming everyone at bonding and records and even the sheriff, and put it all over YouTube. How dare we? I guess we forgot that the Constitution was nullified here. And you know what was definitely not a party? Being in fucking jail, paying extortion money, and inquiring about $6,000 of equipment.
We have the ransom. We are ready to get our political prisoner back.
20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. Once we get it to booking, it'll be another hour, 2-3 hours to get out of jail.
No, it belongs to you.
Okay.
We booked it in as for safekeeping because obviously the dollar value is probably yes. And that's probably the reason why we put it in property that's to safeguard your property, okay?
Okay.
It's our responsibility. That property in essence, when we take your right from it, belongs to us and we have to secure that until we can give it back to you.
When you put yourself out here onto the internet, you get more than your fair share of scrutiny, of negative comment posts. It would be easy to delete the critical comments, but I believe free expression is good for everybody. It would be even easier for me to ignore the hateful comments that are automatically withheld by YouTube. But I take the time out of my day to publish those too. Yes, you heard me right. I approve comments that say mean things about me. To be sure, I have no responsibility under the Constitution, and I have not contractually created a free speech forum. Still, I let my trolls and critics be heard. If the United States was true to its founding principles, it would be a requirement for all government officials to share my classical liberal views about free speech. Authoritarians and those with pathological egos would be promptly disqualified by the voters. Unfortunately, through generations of perverse natural selection of the ruling class, many public officials are incapable of taking criticism and retaliate against those who speak out. If it were not for the Constitution, they would ban all protest, all negative speech. Guys, what separates me from most of the media that's out there is that I am not just some talking head. I investigate these topics, oftentimes spending years fighting tyrants for records until I can put my finger on the verified truth. So when I say the police would control your speech if it were not for the Constitution, I'm not spewing bullshit. You can read their own words for yourself, they said. Due to the public's First Amendment rights, it will be difficult to control the range of emotions expressed in the posts and messages. If the comments are too upsetting to blue egos, they floated the option of disabling all comments. That's what the top brass at the sheriff's office is fussing about. How far can they go to control us? But they still don't get it. They scheme about prosecuting you, viewers, when you voice your opposition to our government. The only possible action to take on threatening or harassing posts is to treat them like a criminal investigation and present the evidence to the district attorney's office for their review. Potential charges if the actions meet the elements of a crime are harassment of a public servant, terroristic threat, or other offense considering the evidence presented. That's their plan. Don't let a radical prosecutor make you the next example in a politically motivated show trial. I'm not going to tell you to post or call or not to. It's not my place. But if I were to say one way or the other, I'd probably say not to, because they'll probably retaliate against me and make me pay for whatever you said to upset them. If you do make any communications with the government, it is my strong recommendation and request that you keep the communications clean and on a constructive message. It's fine to be assertive, but please do not use profanity or say anything that they can twist into a threat. Everything is so-called harassing to them, so you won't be able to avoid that allegation. Basically, if they accuse you of wrongdoing, I want their complaints to be so unfounded so that they are laughed out of the room when people finally hear what was said. After I was arrested, the most effective outreach was done by viewer Christopher Kirkland, which led to the return of a portion of my equipment. That was the only win I had for the first year and a half. His polite yet firm communications rattled their cage.
Hi, narrator. My name is Christopher Kirkland. You confiscated as evidence not just his SD cards, the memory cards of the footage that he took, but also the cameras themselves. I'm planning on speaking with Assistant Special Agent in Charge Brett Leatherman this evening at the Dallas FBI to discuss what concerns I may have there. It appears retaliatory. I'm trying to understand from your office, and I've left a message with Jacqueline as well, why you didn't just hold the SD cards or the memory cards, but why you actually took the video equipment as well. In what way is the lenses or the cameras going to be used as evidence of anything? It appears to be retaliatory, and that you are trying to punish somebody before they've even gone to court, much less been handed a guilty verdict, much less been handed a sentence, but that you're seeking to punish him now by preventing him from doing his job and earning his money in his profession as a video journalist and as an investigative reporter. Just so you're aware that corruption under color of law and civil rights violations by elected officials and those serving under them is the number one priority right now of the Bureau and the Justice Department. I've left a message with Sheriff Fagan and also the county attorney, Bridget Smith, and also the prosecutor.
Let's compare his language to the language of the sheriff's office. 40-year-old virgin apprehended.
What did Nathan Carr do? Can you tell me about Nathan Carr? What did Nathan Carr do? Hey, don't do that. Don't act like that. What did Nathan Carr do? What did Nathan Carr do? Tell me about Nathan Carr. Why don't you answer questions? Tell me about Nathan Carr. Wow. Ma'am, what's your name? What's your name? Are you a sheriff's office employee? Why would you do something like that? Why would you do something like that?
They tell me you're a sex offender.
Oh, that's rich! That is rich!
If pedophiles had a look, the predator in question, he looks like a creeper who's been to Epstein Island a few times. This is illegal slander, and it's outrageous. They don't have a legitimate argument to my reporting, since I don't break the law, and coming out as anti-accountability isn't a good look. The police spread lies with their nasty drive-by attacks against me. And in their case, their negative comment posts are in violation of the general orders. But I won't hold my breath waiting for an internal affairs sanction against them. Harassing me is the politically approved thing to do. This is part of the reason why Texas is a banana republic. There are always two different standards, and the enforcers are never held accountable for doing the same things they prosecute the people for. However, if they want to talk about Epstein Island, right before that picture was taken, I had to go through the most disgusting and inappropriate experience of my life. One of their Blue Line pals forced me to touch myself while he checked out my private areas. I was arrested while filming the police. I had cameras and a pin. I wasn't accused of anything that justifies an invasive strip search. In any other setting, what happened alone in the room with that deputy would be a crime. But the police are above the law. Anyways, I had more planned, but I'm not feeling like it after remembering all that. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of the opposition I face as I try to bring original investigative reports to the people. Watch this video for more leaked emails of how the police are trying to shut me down. And check out the links in the video description if you'd like to contribute to my disturbing financial solicitation to support myself. Thank you for watching.